My name is Andy, and this is the most magical podcast on earth. When I'm not on holiday at Walt Disney World, I'm planning a holiday to Disney. And when I'm not planning a holiday to Disney, I'm talking about Disney, with other UK fans like me who make the trip to Orlando and the House of the Mouse. So whether you're a parks professional or a Florida first-timer, this is the podcast for you. Each episode, I'll be chatting to other Disney superfans to share memories of their magical times, answering your Walt Disney World questions, getting you all the latest news from the parks, and finding out what's happening right now in Orlando. So get your ears on as we take you to the most magical place on earth. This is the most magical podcast on earth as part of the Secret Recordings Network, back with a brand new episode if you love your food at Disney World. And if you are particularly plant-based, you will love this episode because we're going to be talking to Melissa from Vegan Disney World in just a moment. We're also going to be talking Christmas, and there is a great top tip for you to really max out the lightning lanes. It's a bit of a lightning lane hack, which I'll tell you about at the end of this podcast. And of course, we're on the socials as well, at PodMagical on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, and on YouTube. If you want to listen to the podcast on YouTube, every episode has now been uploaded onto YouTube. Particularly very good if you want to just see subtitles, because we want everybody to enjoy this. So if you want to read along with the podcast, every episode from the last 5 years is now on YouTube, along with some YouTube shorts as well. But the actual podcast, there's no visuals, but you can listen to it on YouTube if you prefer, or on Spotify, or on Apple. And if you can leave likes and comments, that is always appreciated. And if you have any questions, send them over as well. Question for this episode of the podcast is from Drew. Andy, what is the best way to get from MCO? So if you are arriving at the airport in Orlando International Airport, Buddy Dyer has welcomed you. You've got the tram over, you've got your luggage, and you're thinking, well, now what? There used to be two options. Well, there used to be a free option. We used to have the Magical Express. That went. Then there were two options of paid-for transfers. There was the Sunshine Shuttle, I think it was called, and Mia's Connect. It's now just Mia's Connect, which works the same way as the Magical Express used to do. Basically, you're paying for a transfer. Personally, for me, if I'm not hiring a car, because I've never hired a car, I've never been brave enough to drive, I think the quickest way and the easiest way, and I think the cheapest way, is rideshare. So either Lyft or Uber. I'm finding in America, particularly around Florida, I'm finding that Lyft is the cheaper option. And if you've never signed up to Lyft, there's usually some deals here, there and everywhere. It's quite easy. You'll go to the pickup spot and there's various numbers. And when you've ordered your Lyft or your Uber, it'll tell you which number to go to. And that's that. Particularly if there's a few of you, because if there's 3 or 4 of you, by the time you've individually paid for a transfer, you probably pay more than it would be just to get an Uber anyway. So for me, particular choice is Lyft. Pretty easy to do. Depending on the Orlando traffic, you can be there in 40 minutes and it's about $50, I'd guess. There's also a bus as well. There's the public bus. There's the Lynx bus you can get, which is a couple of dollars, which will take you from the airport to Disney Springs, I think. Not done that. But if you really want to keep the cost down, look into that one. Get the public transport bus. Any questions? Drop me a message at PodMagical across the socials. We're looking for guests as well. So if you have just come back from Disney World or you're going to be going to Disney World, let's get you on the podcast. Send me a message. We'll sort you out a time to talk about all your Walt Disney World loves. But right now, it's time to talk plant-based food. On this episode of the podcast, somebody who has been talked about on the podcast. In fact, quite recently she was mentioned on this podcast. Let's say hello to Melissa from Vegan Disney World. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
And you are so close to the magic. How far away from Magic Kingdom are you right now?
Well, it depends on traffic because Orlando's 45 minutes from Orlando. So on a good day, 30 minutes. On a normal day, about 45.
All right, but way nearer than anybody here in the UK, Melissa.
Absolutely. And I used to live 2.5 hours away via flight, so I am much closer than I used to be. So.
Did you move to Orlando because of Disney?
Yes.
Did?
Yes, I did.
So was that before you started setting up Vegan Disney World, or?
No. So we moved here in 2018. I started the website in 2014.
And what is it? How often do you actually go to Disney World being so near?
I try to go once a week. If not Disney World, then I go to Universal, because it is 20 minutes closer to my house. So I go to a theme park at least once a week.
Yeah.
In the summer, it'll be more because we've got more time to do it. But yeah, I try to go one day during the week, and then sometimes we'll go on the weekends.
But I'm guessing because there's always new food that you need to go and review it. Well, I mean, it's terrible for you that you have to go and eat all this delicious
It
Disney
really is
food every
hard.
week.
I have to do it. It's like a requirement. It's a rough life out here.
Yeah. What have you set yourself up for? So tell me about Vegan Disney World. How did it start? Why did it start? How is it going?
Yeah, so I started, like I said, in 2014. So basically, my husband and I, when we were dating, I was like, hey, when I graduate college, I want to go to Disney World because that's what you do when you're a grown adult. And
Yeah.
so we were both vegan at the time, obviously. And I was trying to do research and I couldn't really find anything. And I was just like, obviously, I'm not the only vegan that's ever gone to Walt Disney World. And so I made like these cute little PDFs for my phone, and then got to the point where I was like, someone else needs to know this information. And so I became that someone else. And I started with the website, like I said, in 2014. So it's been 11 years now that I've been running that. And then obviously that stuff migrated over to Instagram, which then has now migrated over to YouTube, for a little bit more long form videos. And then I attempt to dabble in TikTok, but I truly just don't understand that world.
Took me a while.
So, and it's a lot for one person to do.
Yeah.
So, I just stick to what I'm good at when it comes to that stuff. But basically, the whole reason was to help give people the information that way that when they are going on vacation too, they don't have to feel like they have to pack all their food. Like there was, even back in 2012 when we went that first time as vegans, there was options then. So, yes,
Yeah.
there are significantly more options now, but we did have options then. It was just you had to know where to look. And so that's just kind of where it's always been and the purpose of it too. So,
There was
yeah.
definitely a tipping point. I'd say, well, about 5 years ago, around the pandemic time, where suddenly plant-based
Yes.
options at Disney World just became. I think they made a point of saying, look, every snack place, every quick service place, there is something for everyone.
Yes, so it was 2019 and it was, we had a bright future in 2019, um for everyone, for everything. And so they came out and they were like, this is our plant-based initiative. I want to say they said it around the end of summer and they were like, by I think it was October, every Disney owned, that's where you have to make sure you know it, every Disney owned restaurant and quick service will have a plant-based option. And then
Right.
they did it, and it was almost everywhere that Disney owned. There were still some that didn't have something, but almost everywhere did. And they had really unique options too. Like my favorite was at Caribbean Beach. You could literally get a seitan sandwich, which you could not get seitan anywhere else, just plain seitan. Once the pandemic hit and they reopened, they cut almost all of those new options and basically just made it so we had like a vegan burger everywhere. I want to say
Yeah.
in the last year and a half, we've started to see the more creative options come back. It literally has taken them that long to stop being, in my opinion, lazy.
Yeah, that impossible meat did go a little bit everywhere, didn't it, at one point?
Everywhere. It was like, I got to the point where I was like, I cannot eat another burger. And so I just was like, I can't do it. Like, it's just like, no one needs me to review the exact same burger at 12 different locations. This is insane.
Which
So,
is such a shame because people say, like, the best thing about Walt Disney World, people think you go to a theme park and it's just burgers everywhere. Well, actually, Walt
mhm.
Disney World isn't burgers everywhere. But then if they were going to that for a plant-based option when they're trying to change it, like,
It sure was.
yeah, you've moved it back. Have
Yes,
you been to
yeah.
any of the other Disney parks around the world?
I've been to Disneyland and I've been to Tokyo. Disneyland, so I haven't been in the last year and a half, I want to say, and I've always had great options. They have way better breakfast options than they do here. Like in park, we don't have any vegan in park options other than one location. And their options, in my opinion, were always way more creative. I think it just has to do with California in general being more
Yeah,
vegetable
yeah.
leaning. But I've had a couple of people I've talked to recently that said they were having a harder time finding the vegan options out there. So I don't know if they've kind of started cutting them or if it's just that I know a lot of them are like potato based, which is interesting. So I don't know if it's just you get burnout on those kinds of things. But I've always found the options out in Disneyland to be great.
And what about Tokyo? Did you have to pack your own food?
So we were only there for a day and a half, so I have to preface
All
it
right.
that way. And this was in 2016. At
Okay.
the time, they had one vegan option at both parks, and it was a pasta dish at a sit-down restaurant.
And it
Um,
was just pasta in a bowl.
Literally, it was just pasta with just vegetables and like the most bland tomato sauce we've ever
Yeah.
had. I do know now there's more options. It's not crazy. They have this really cute like Baymax that looks like he's like lounging in a jacuzzi of soup.
Yeah.
And that's vegan. And I know like their ice cream, rather ice cream, they have like frozen fruit bars. I got one of those, and then their popcorn. Most of their popcorn's vegan too. But
Oh,
it's not like it is here in the States, but they
yeah.
definitely have way more options than they did 9 years ago.
Obviously, we're going to talk a lot more about Walt Disney World food very soon because we like to talk about your favourite things on this podcast. So before we get to that, because we're going to go to a massive list of places to eat, so prepare yourself. Hope you're not hungry. Let's talk about some of the other things at Disney World. But have you got any particular favourite attractions?
I definitely am a Tower of Terror girly.
Yeah.
I love Big Thunder Mountain. We've been sad that that's been under refurb currently, so missing that one. I mean, obviously, I'm a Muppet stan, which I'm very sad about the Muppets
Oh,
going away. Every
R.I.P.
time I've gone to Hollywood Studios recently, I've done the Muppet Show. But yeah, I mean, in park terms of like the parks that we visit the most, I feel like we go to Hollywood Studios the most often, and
Mm,
so like we just love the rides there. Like, I mean, I love Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, and obviously Tower of Terror. Guardians of the Galaxy is always great if I can get in
yeah,
on
yeah.
it. But yeah, those are usually my favorites. I was like a classic girl, so I like the Spaceship Earth, and I liked Maelstrom, R.I.P. So
You're not a fan
those,
of the Frozen layer, Frozen ride now?
nope, no,
No.
I don't usually do that
Wait,
one. It's
no.
not the same. I don't go back over the falls anymore. It makes me sad.
When was the first time you ever went to Walt Disney World?
I was an infant. We would go basically every year or every other year. My grandparents lived in Florida, so I grew up in Ohio, which is much more north of here. And so we would come down like every other-ish year. My dad blames my Disney obsession on my mom. So,
It's always
but
one
now they
story.
live in Orlando too, so they can't even.
Oh, they moved down as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So.
Have you got a particular favourite memory, something that always sticks in your mind, either from when you were small or more recently, one magical Disney moment that you will cherish forever?
My son took his first steps inside the Odyssey building on our first trip with him when he was 11 months old. So I would say that one for sure.
Yeah,
That one's a pretty good one. I have a funny one that has nothing to do with anything other than doing Monsters Inc. Laugh Floor. There was a group of Buddhists, like monks,
yeah,
in there, and I didn't realize that they were like real because like on the screen it shows just like people sitting in the audience, and it kept
yeah.
showing them with their bright orange garb. And I was just like, "That's what a random thing that they just keep showing on the screen." And then we left the theater, and then they were there, and I was like, "I'm an
Actually,
idiot." Like, I was like, "Oh my, I'm an idiot."
they
So that
are
was
actually.
funny. It's just, yeah, no, anything with my kid. Obviously, my husband and we got married there, so I mean, that's got to be like the top tier thing. I'm one of those Disney people who got married at Walt Disney World too. So
Whereabouts in Disney World did you get married?
we got married at the boardwalk. So there's that little pavilion out on the water there
Yeah,
for
yeah.
when you're like walking from the boardwalk to Epcot, and then we had our reception at Atlantic Dance Hall. So it was a
Cool.
blast. Yeah.
Lovely. Do you ever stay in any of the resorts at Disney World, living so near? Do you ever treat yourself to a little staycation?
We do, we do. Our dog unfortunately passed away this year, but we used to always go to Fort Wilderness because we could bring him.
Yeah,
So I love the cabins. I love Fort Wilderness. I've stayed everywhere except for two of the All Stars and maybe Old Key West. I want to say I've stayed pretty much at every other resort other than Riviera. I haven't done Riviera, which I know apparently is your home. I've
yes.
not stayed at that one because that's a lot of money for for what it is for not DVC.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you're not DVC. Back with Melissa in just a moment. We've got a lot of food to talk about with Melissa, obviously, but let's talk about Christmas. Latest news to come from Walt Disney World is Christmas news. We know that both of the paid-for Christmas parties will be returning. Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party at Magic Kingdom, and it's the return for the third time of Jollywood Nights over at Hollywood Studios. These are separate ticketed events. Quite often they sell out. The first Very Merry will be from the 7th at Magic Magic Kingdom. The first Jollywood Nights is the night after that on the 8th of November. Tickets are on sale now if you already have a reservation to stay at a Disney World resort or hotel. If you don't, if you're staying off site but you still like to go, tickets for you will be on sale from the 22nd. In terms of what is at the parties, there's not much difference to what there has been over previous years, to be honest with you. Tickets have seen a slight increase on the upper end, but they go from around, let's say, around $150 each. Jollywood's a little bit cheaper. The events start at 7 o'clock for Magic Kingdom, but you can get in from 4 o'clock with your ticket. Hollywood Studios for Jollywood, you can get in from 5:30. That event starts at 7:30 and goes on till about midnight, and it's returning events. Muppets are there and Jack Skellington's there, and there's meet and greets. Of course, over at Magic Kingdom, you get the free cookies and the hot chocolate included, whereas you don't over at Jollywood Nights. But there are other things coming to Walt Disney World for Christmas. We've had all the Christmas announcements. The rest of Christmas stuff, the general Christmas stuff, will start the week after that. So you can expect to see some gingerbread houses. Not at the Grand Floridian this year because of the renovations in the lobby there. Merry Menagerie will be back at Animal Kingdom, and the Epcot Festival of the Holidays will start from Thanksgiving, which is the last Thursday in November, with the candlelight processional and the food booths and the cookie stroll over there. So Christmas, it's a coming. I know it's only July. I know we've had our third heat wave over in the UK, but let's talk about Christmas when it's a little bit cooler over in Florida. We know that Dinosaur is going to be closing very soon over at Animal Kingdom. There's been a whole load of Dinosaur merch that's just been revealed. You can actually now buy that if you're a fan. You want to go one last time to ride Dinosaur? You can get your memorabilia, your T-shirts and your baseball caps there. We're not going to make it. Meanwhile, there is construction up at the Rivers of America. Yes. Tom Sawyer Island is now closed. The walls are up. The renovation has started over at Magic Kingdom for the new Cars attraction that will be coming in a couple of years' time. Any more news from Walt Disney World between now and the next podcast in a couple of weeks, then follow us on the socials at PodMagical. We have Melissa from Vegan Disney World on the podcast. So I think we should talk about food.
Yeah.
Would you like to talk about food?
That's my specialty.
I usually say, like, what's your favourite thing to eat? Where's your favourite place to eat? But we can't just do that with you, Melissa. So I want you to give me options. Let's talk restaurants. Let's talk quick service. Let's talk snacks. Not just one. Where are the best ones? Should we start with snacks first then?
Sure. Yeah. Snacks are always good ones. In general, all of the popcorn is vegan. The maple popcorn in Epcot is vegan. And then, of course, a Mickey pretzel. So those are your classic, like, standard, easy peasy. You can get those anywhere. The Queen Supreme is going to be the pineapple Dole Whip without the vanilla swirl. All of the fruit flavors are vegan. I'm personally a lemon lime fan, which sometimes they can get a swirl of that at the Polynesian, which is the best. But my current go-to snack is going to be the kringle at the Kringle Bakery in Norway in Epcot.
Yeah.
It's a Norwegian kringle cookie, which is kind of like a soft pastry more than a cookie, in the shape of a pretzel. And I really like the chocolate drizzled one. It's so good.
Oh, is that new then?
Not new. It's been here for a while. It was not vegan, and now they've made it vegan. There's also an almond one with, like, sliced shaved almonds on it. They're very good.
So that's snacks ticked off. What about quick service? Where are you taking us for the best options?
Okay. Oh man, there's just, whenever I get asked these questions, I'm like, what mood am I in currently for? All right. Can I do one per park?
Yeah, totally.
Many. Okay. All right. We're at Hollywood Studios. We're probably going to go to Rosie's All-American and get the plant-based lobster roll. It's got hearts of palm. That's what the base is for it, with, like, a vegan mayo and this big old bread roll. It's delicious. Mm-hmm. If we're going to Animal Kingdom, we're going to Satuli Canteen because I want the tofu bowl, the crispy tofu bowl. It's got the choice of the rice and beans as your base, the potato hash, or a salad. And I love the rice and beans. My husband is a potato hash person, though. Magic Kingdom is not my favorite when it comes to food, quick service wise. But if I have to eat there, the new rice bowl at Pecos Bills is very nice. It's got vegan meatballs in it, which is incredibly strange, but it works. And it's got like a crema on it. It's very delightful. And then Epcot, oh man, okay, it's not technically a quick service, but I'm going to count it as one. Is over at Rose and Crown. If you go to the pub, not the actual restaurant, but into the bar, you can order vegan fish and chips to go. And they're the
Yes.
same ones you can get in the restaurant, but I'm counting that as a quick service because I'm getting it at the bar and I'm taking it
Yeah,
away.
I'm letting you have that one. So, which is the best, before we go into restaurants, which is the best park, would you say, regardless of whether it's quick service or sit down restaurants, the best park for food?
Hollywood Studios has the most options. They have the most
Yeah.
creative options and they have the most variety.
Docking Bay 7 was kind of like a big eye opener.
Yes, and they've got the falafel is fantastic. I was big fan of the Impossible meatballs that they used to have, but the falafel is very nice. So yeah, everything they do at Hollywood Studios, whether it's at a sit down or a quick service, is very good. I don't think I've ever had a bad meal.
So, what about restaurants? Again, you can do one
Okay.
from each park and one from Disney Springs and one from a hotel if you like.
Oh yeah, okay. All right, all right. We're gonna go same order. So Hollywood Studios.
Okay.
Oh, it's all right. Man, that one's the hardest because I really love three of those restaurants. Um, all right, depends on the vibe. I'm not feeling characters right now. We're going to sci-fi. They have the vegan Impossible nachos, and they have a burger, which is very strange. It comes with a portobello on top of the Impossible patty, but it's good. And then you can get vegan milkshakes there, which you can't get anywhere else at Disney anymore. So I would say sci-fi. And then at Animal Kingdom, I'm going to go with Yak and Yeti. Tusker House
Yeah.
is very good, but Yak and Yeti has some really delicious options. And you can modify pretty much everything to have tofu there, which is really cool. And you
Even
can't
the
really find
nachos,
tofu.
because they have the famous
Yeah,
fish nachos there. So,
yeah.
yeah.
You can modify anything to your heart's delight there. I love that. Where do we go next? Was it Magic Kingdom or Epcot? Magic Kingdom. Skipper Canteen. Skipper Canteen is the best. If I'm eating at Magic Kingdom, I'm going to Skipper Canteen. Their food actually has a lot of flavor. It's creative. They have a falafel starter. They've got that curry, the vegetable curry with tofu for lunch, which they have a kids version of because vegan kids options are very hard to find. And then their dessert, I think they still have it, but it's like a lime panna cotta or something. It's strange, but it's got like a jalapeno on it, and it works really well. It's very good. And then at Epcot, there's so many at Epcot. All right, I said Rose and Crown, so froze my
It's not the fish and chips
quicks.
again, is it?
So no, no, I love so much at Epcot, but I'm Team Beer Garden. That was like a one we would always go to as a kid on trips. My family, like we lived in like a German area and stuff growing up, and I love German food, but they will do vegan sausages there, and almost all of the sides are vegan. You just have to sit family style. That's the only downside is if you don't want to talk to strangers, you have to sit with
Yeah,
them.
it's the long benches there, isn't it?
Yeah,
We don't want to
yeah,
speak to these people.
it's a proper beer garden, but it's delicious. And then if we're going to Disney Springs, we do a lot of City Works, but I'm gonna say if you want to actually have something that's like good food, I would go to Marimoto or Raglan Road. Both of those two are fantastic. Marimoto's got like a cauliflower, kung pao cauliflower, and I think they have tofu now with that, which was new from last time I was there. And they have dumplings and just everything. It's so good. Um, and then for resorts, I'm going to go with one I know you mentioned previously, Sebastian's Bistro at
Yes,
St.
I've been
Peter's, because
telling
that one's
people
so
about this
good.
for ages.
It's
It's,
so good.
yeah.
Like Joe and I just went to Ohana recently, and I was like, this was like $65, and the food was just like very mediocre. And I was like, I would have rather have gone to Sebastian's, but my husband would have been sad had I gone to Sebastian's without him. So,
Oh, should have
but
just
yeah.
don't tell him. If you were with people, so say there's a big group of you and you want to go
Mhm,
family style, and you've got some people who want meat and some people who are plant based, how does that work? Say there's like 10 of you and different
mhm.
people want different things and different options. Are you finding like there's better places for that, or better chefs that will help you out?
I mean, so they'll always plate your stuff separately. So if you are like the token vegan or the vegans of the group, they'll plate your stuff separately from everyone else that's getting the meat dishes. So, like at Ohana, you'll get your own little personal skillet. Same with Sebastian's. even Roundup Rodeo, all of those guys, they will always like make you your own little thing. I was on a work meal once at Whispering Canyon Cafe. I was one of 12, and I was the only vegan, and they made me my own little platter. And so it was just, I mean, they'll always handle it for you, easy peasy, and you just get your own. And then it's always all you care to enjoy. So if you just really like something, you can get more of
Yeah,
it too.
more of that.
Yeah.
What about places there's like, if you think of Homecoming, which is very fried chicken based,
Mhm.
or over at Epcot, the steak place in Canada, which I can't remember what it is at the minute. If you're with a group of people who go there, it's very meat heavy. Do you find there's still really good options?
So it very much depends on those locations. The two that you just named, you're fine.
Okay.
Homecoming has vegan chicken tenders that you can actually get as a sandwich, and it's delightful. You can also get them on a salad as well.
Yeah.
You just have to know these places. Same with Le Cellier in Epcot. They have a vegan option because that's Disney owned. So Homecoming is not Disney owned. Le Cellier is. So if it's somewhere that is Disney owned, they are supposed to have an option on the menu. And if for whatever reason they don't, usually they will accommodate you. The best thing is if you don't see anything on the menu is to hit up Disney Special Diets email before you arrive, and then that way they know someone's coming that needs to be accommodated.
Have you got any particular favourites because you love the chefs?
I
Really
mean,
put
there's
living
Chef
caring.
TJ, of course.
We've heard about
Everybody who
TJ.
has allergies knows Chef TJ. He's currently at Chef Mickey's, which is very
Oh, okay.
strange to me. He's worked his way around. I really miss when he was at Trails End. That was my favorite because that was a hidden gem. That was like $20. That was the best.
Those days.
Um, yeah, no, Chef Mickey's is not $20.
No.
But you you do get like 8 courses with him, so he's real crazy. He does a lot. He does a fantastic job. And then I met the chef at Coral Reef, and she was the one that came up with the recent change with the plant-based crab cakes that they have. They're called like coastal palm cakes or something. They're so good. And the chef came out just to be like, tell me about it. What'd you think? And I was like, oh, so good. So good. So if you're friendly, the chefs will come say hi to you usually, which is nice.
Oh, you find that you're a bit of a tester now. When they know there's something new on the menu, they'll give you a call and go, "Man, do you want to come over and just try these new dishes?"
You know what? No, I don't know
But you'd like
why.
to.
It was fine. There was like one chef. I don't think he works there anymore, but he used to be at Sci-Fi. He would let me know if he was coming out with something new, so that way I could come try it.
Let's have
But
one.
I just
Yeah.
truly have to know them and have met them because they don't really like send you unsolicited messages. I would love it though if they would like to do that. I would love to know these things, but
Yeah,
usually
Mickey's listening.
I'm learning when everyone else is learning if something gets changed. So, and then I guess I will drive on down and go try it.
Yeah. Have you been over to Epic yet?
Yes, I've been twice. So I went with my family and then I went again on my own for work, and it is incredible. They've done such a good job.
And food wise?
Food wise, it's
Oh.
so okay. I have a lot of feelings about it. So they do have options. They don't have any options for children, specifically picky vegan children. So that was fun. But they're being very creative, and I applaud it. But some of the creativity is a bit too far for me. Like a carrot hot dog and an ube bun. I don't do cooked carrots.
No.
I don't
Oh,
want that.
no.
No, thank you. I've
Unless
heard
it's
it's
in a
good.
cake.
Yeah, no. My friend Shelby, she does the Universal Orlando Vegans page. She loves this hot dog that's not a hot dog and is in fact a carrot. And I love that for her. But the food that I have had, I only had one meal that I didn't really care for. But at Café Lier de la Serene, which is in the Harry Potter area, they had a vegan croissant, they had a cassoulet, and then like a ratatouille baguette, and all of that was delicious. There was like a jackfruit sandwich at Oak and Star Tavern in Celestial Park, and that was really nice too. But I tried I believe it's called our vegan familiars. I can't remember what it's called. Our vegan familiar stuffed cabbage, I believe is what it is. It's at Das Steakhouse, which is in the Dark Universe area. So it comes out and it's supposed to look like a brain, like the
Oh,
cabbage
right.
itself. And
Yeah.
then it's on like a bed of worms, which are noodles. Very cool, very creative. It had no seasoning. So I think if they had like put, I don't know, like some salt, maybe
Just a bit of taste.
something, will
Yeah.
spruce it up. But it's really cool and it's creative and it's fun. It's just seeing what they've done has been really cool. But I just wish I can't believe I'm saying this. I wish they just had somewhere that had just like a burger so I could just feed my child who's very picky.
Yeah, yeah. Does your child
Um,
not interested in eating the brains? Because I was thinking, like, if you've got a kid, you want to eat something brains with worms coming out. Like, yeah.
yeah, no, so he would be wrapped in the cabbage and he'd be like hard passed.
All
So
right.
I'd be like, okay. Even if I unpeeled
See
it,
what?
he'd be like, I'd
Yeah,
be like,
yeah,
all
yeah,
right. So he ate French fries and Frankenstein pretzel when we went. Oh, and ice cream. There's vegan ice cream there as well.
yeah, yeah.
So we just
And what
left
about
on
Universal
snacks.
in general with their food? Are they just as good as Disney?
Yeah, I mean, I would say they are. I think that some of their stuff is not great, but some of it is really good. You just have to know what to find. We went and ate at Circus McGurkus Stupendous yesterday in Seuss Landing, which I had never eaten at. And the one thing we ate was really delicious, and the other thing we ate was very bland. So it really just depends. You have to know what to find and where to find it. But I feel like they are equally creative when it comes to vegan options. Like Minions Cafe has fried cauliflower. Like it's not just burgers everywhere. There's one place that has like a chili dog. You can get a rice bowl with vegan chorizo somewhere else. Like they have good options. You just have to know where to find it.
And the attractions are epic, as you've been and you've been on the rides. Did you get to go on the Harry Potter and the monsters? They're the two big ones,
Yes.
aren't they?
Yeah, I've been on everything except for the How to Train Your Dragon one where you just spin in a circle. So I was like, I'm not gonna
And
wait for that.
and what are those attractions like? Are they did they live up to the hype?
Yes, so I can't do motion stuff typically with like screens. Like I can't ride Star Tours at Hollywood Studios, otherwise I'd come out white as a ghost. So a lot of the Universal attractions I typically can't do because they are screen motion based. That's not the case at all at Epic Universe. I did feel some of the motion by the end of the Ministry of Magic attraction. But everything else is like a real attraction, real life. The Mario one, you have a screen on like a visor basically, but you can still see past it, so it's not like super disorienting. But literally every ride, we had a blast. It was super fun. It's going to be really incredible when it's actually like open, and hopefully they'll add it to our annual passes because I'm sad that I can't go.
Not yet. No, they will. They will. When the hype's died down, maybe next year.
If it ever dies down.
Yeah, it will eventually. If I was to give you your perfect day at Disney World, okay, how
Mm,
would you spend it? Where would you eat? So you're allowed 3 meals and you can go
okay.
on attractions, you can stay where you want. How would you talk me through your day?
Okay. Well, I would start my day with Kona Cafe for breakfast and get some vegan Tonga toast and the vegan Loco Moco. And then from there, we could take the monorail or the boat over to Magic Kingdom for a little bit for early morning hours. And then I would promptly leave the Magic Kingdom when it starts getting busy because I can't do that. And I would probably head to Hollywood Studios for a little bit. We get the Bavarian pretzel at baseline because that's what we always do. Um, I'm trying to think what else we would do. Our life's so simple here. Like I don't do full park days, so I'm like trying to remember like
That's
what.
fine. You know.
I mean, maybe we'd stay for some Fantasmic. Maybe take the Skyliner over to Epcot for a little bit, come back. Yeah, we're very laid back. We're not like super ride oriented people. Like we'll do the
Yeah. Well,
rides, obviously, but with living here, it's like if it's got less than a 30-minute wait, then I'm like, sure, let's go. But if not, then I'm like, eh.
where would you go for dinner? Or where
Oof.
would we?
Okay, let's do dinner. I would go to Roundup Rodeo again if I'm at Hollywood
Yeah.
Studios. I would like to try that one again. They changed the dessert, so I mean, I have to go back.
Oh,
That's how
have
that
they?
works.
What's the dessert now? Because it was the little cupcakes last time, wasn't it?
So it used to be a strawberry peach pie, but now it's a strawberry shortcake, which I imagine is also in the equally cute, very, very tiny mason jars that they were
Yeah, yeah,
serving them in. They're so cute. I was like, I want to steal this. I did not, though. Disclaimer, I did not steal it.
yeah. Safe.
I didn't do it.
what
I
I
wanted to, but I didn't.
what I do like there as well, it says like you can have one dessert, but then when the server comes out, they go, "You just if you want like 9 of these, just ask
Yes.
for more."
Our server came by and she's like, I told you it was delicious. Do you want another one? We were like, yes.
Gotta
We were
keep the
so
mason
full
jar.
too. I was like, you could have rolled me out of there.
Yeah, sure. Usually, I end the podcast by asking if you've got another trip coming up to Walt Disney World, but as you live 45 minutes away, when are you back there next? Tomorrow?
No, I'm actually going to
Tonight?
Mexico tomorrow, so I'm leaving tomorrow.
Oh, right.
So probably Tuesday next week. I typically go on Tuesdays. If not, then I have breakfast with some coworkers at the Grand Floridian Cafe on Thursday next week. So I will be there at the very least on Thursday.
And where can we find you on the socials and YouTube?
Yes, so everything I am is just Vegan Disney World. You can go to vegandisneyworld.com. I'm at Vegan Disney World on Instagram, TikTok, despite me not really being on there, and YouTube as well. So I am on all the things. Very simple, just Vegan Disney World.
Thank you, Melissa, and have a magical day.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast.
Thank you again to Melissa. If you would like to be a podcast guest, maybe you've just come back from Walt Disney World or you're going to be heading out soon. School summer holidays are on us, aren't they? Maybe you're in the airport listening right now, or actually at Disney World listening right now. We're always looking for guests, especially people who are fresh back. And if you think, I've never done a podcast before, I don't know, what would I talk about? Well, if you are the person who can't stop talking about Disney World, favourite rides, restaurant recommendations, if you're the person who knows people who are going and you just give them loads of advice, then you're the person that should be on this podcast. Really easy to record. Don't worry about it if you've never done podcasts before. It's just like talking over the phone about Disney World. Just send me a message either on X or Instagram or Facebook. DMs are always open. Say, Andy, I'd love to come on the podcast. A bit shy. We'll sort it out. We'll get you on. Always looking for podcast guests. If you are going to be going to Disney World over the next few weeks, next few days, it's going to be busy because UK schools are off, American schools are off. It's also going to be very hot. So the lowest it's going to get is low 20s, which is overnight. And then in the afternoons, you're kind of talking low to mid 30s. And those afternoon storms, if you've been to Walt Disney World in Florida and Orlando before, you know those storms. You know how to dodge them. It's Cool Kids Summer at Disney World at the minute. There's no festivals at Epcot. However, Test Track has reopened. It's doing like a soft launch at the moment. It is also, we're talking days away now from the brand new nighttime parade at the Magic Kingdom. I know Disney Starlight starts on the 20th. That's exciting if you're going to be going over some. That's why I want to get you on the podcast. If you've seen it, we can talk about it. Flavors of Florida at Disney Springs. Look out for some special dining offers over the next couple of weeks at Disney Springs. Epic Universe, obviously open over there at Universal. SeaWorld, they've got their brews, bands, beats, barbecues, whatever it's called, with various food stalls and tribute acts going on. Now, I always end the podcast with a tip. Now, this top tip is not guaranteed. This is more of a hack, and it could change at any time. Now, I haven't tried this, but I know people who have, and it works. If you are paying for lightning lanes, try this. So, you know the lightning lanes, you get a grace period before and after. So, say your lightning lane is 2 o'clock. If you go about 5 to 2, they'll usually let you on. So, you can probably get on a few minutes before. That's fine. And then if you miss your lightning lane, say it's 2 till 3, and you get there at 1 minute past 3, they won't let you on. But they will. You usually have, I thought, about 10 minutes grace period. So after your window closes, usually if you turn up about 10 minutes after, they'll still let you on. Well, apparently it's not. Here is the hack. You get an extra 2 hours. Yes, when your lightning lane has expired, it may disappear from the My Disney Experience app, but it is still there for around 2 hours. So if your lightning lane is between 2 and 3, you'll probably be able to use it up to just before 5 o'clock. Now, this is what you need to do, okay? When it expires, of course, you can book the next one. However, here's the caveat. Apparently, you need to be in the park to do this, and you have to have used your first lightning lane. So the best thing to do with lightning lanes, we've mentioned this on the last few podcasts, actually. You know, you've got your tier 1 and your tier 2. You can only have one from tier 1. But once you've used one of the attractions, you can get any. So the best thing is to do, get your tier 1 for later in the day. Get an early tier 2. Something that you're going to be able to get on like 9:30. Because as soon as you use that, hopefully there'll still be another tier 1 available. So you'll have 2 tier 1s in the bank. However, here's another thing. Here's what you can do now, all right? If your, say, second lightning lane has then expired, when it's expired, you can book another lightning lane. So it's expired, but you can still use it and book another lightning lane. You have to be in the park. You have to have used your first one. So I don't know. It may work. It may not work. It could change at any time once Disney realise people are onto this hack. But it's worth knowing. It's worth knowing, actually. You know, if you're panicking to get over to use the Lightning Lane, even if you don't want to do it as a hack to book something else, thinking, I've got a restaurant reservation, we're going to have to finish our dessert really quick because we're going to miss the Lightning Lane. Do you know what? Just take your time. And if you're there an hour after it, it's worth trying. You're not really going to lose anything, are you? Have a try. And if you have used that, let me know. I would love to hear if that's worked for you. And once again, if you've got any of your own top tips that we can share, or you want to be on the podcast, send me a message at PodMagical on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, or you can listen to the podcast on YouTube as well. Going to be back with a new episode 2 weeks from now. Hope you can join me for that. Make sure you're subscribed. If you can like and comment on Apple and Spotify. I've not mentioned this for a while, but it really does help people find us. So if you could give us 5 stars and leave a nice comment. You never used to be able to do this on Spotify, but you can now. And on YouTube as well. Like, subscribe, leave comments. It just really does help me out. And I'd be forever grateful. Back in 2 weeks with a new episode, a new guest, more memories, more top tips. Until then, please stand clear of the doors.